Meghan Sussex left Salty Isle, but Salty Isle simply cannot let her go. At this point, it's starting to look like the UK tabloids need a support group, a therapist, a spa retreat, and maybe even a restraining order, because the level of obsession has gone far beyond unhealthy and planted itself firmly in hysterically embarrassing territory. And yet, every single day, without fail, they wake up, stretch their cramped little fingers, and sprint straight to their keyboards to type Meghan Sussex, like it's the only vocabulary word they've ever learned. Meghan Sussex is still the most talked about royal, and that sentence alone sends the British tabloids into a fresh meltdown every morning. Nothing terrifies them more than the woman they desperately wanted to destroy, continuing to live her peaceful Hollywood life, while still being the most relevant, most searched, and most profitable name in their entire media ecosystem. You would think Meghan Sussex was camping in the middle of Trafalgar Square with a megaphone the way they behave. But no, she hasn't stepped foot in the UK, hasn't breathed UK air, hasn't touched UK soil, hasn't even glanced in the direction of Heathrow. And still, the UK speaks about her like she's the national anthem, the weather forecast, and the stock exchange combined. The funniest part? Meghan does nothing and still trends worldwide. Her silence alone triggers think pieces, emergency podcasts, fake royal experts scrambling for relevance, and tabloids pumping out 12 articles before breakfast. Meghan Sussex trending again is practically a national holiday at this point. The newspapers throw confetti, the hate accounts foam at the mouth, and the analysts dust off their recycled nonsense as if they've uncovered a state secret when all she did was breathe. Meghan Sussex stories are just the best-selling stories. And that is why the UK can't let her go. Because the truth is simple. If the tabloids stopped talking about her for even 48 hours, their traffic would collapse, their advertisers would faint, and half their websites would shut down faster than you can say refresh. They rely on her name the way plants rely on sunlight, phones rely on chargers, and coffee lovers rely on caffeine. Meghan Sussex is their oxygen, their cash cow, their emergency content generator, their obsession, their daily meal, their midnight snack, and their entire business model. And here's the irony. They pretend they're tired of her. They pretend they want her out of the spotlight. They pretend they want her irrelevant. But if Meghan Sussex actually disappeared from their headlines, these tabloids would suddenly be forced to report real news, actual journalism, and that's clearly something they're unprepared to do. So instead, they cling to her name like a toddler clinging to a favourite toy, even while screaming that they don't want it. If she truly wasn't relevant, then why does she trend more than the people physically living on Salty Isle? Why is she the top story even when she's minding her business thousands of miles away? Why does every newspaper race to mention her even on days when she hasn't been seen, hasn't spoken, hasn't posted, hasn't done a single thing? The answer is simple. Meghan Sussex is inevitable. She's impactful, she's magnetic, she guarantees clicks without trying. Meanwhile, the tabloids keep recycling the same tired narratives, and the public sees right through it. Because the math is mathing. If they didn't care about Meghan Sussex, they would stop talking about her. Instead, they track her life from across an ocean, writing articles about her outfits, her work, her friendships, her events, her absence, her silence, her presence, even her shadow. Meghan could walk past a camera in California and UK headlines would explode like she caused a solar eclipse. She could sneeze in Montecito and they'd call 6 experts to analyse what it means. She could smile at someone in a grocery store and the media would have a 48-hour meltdown demanding an inquiry. She could drink water and they'd write, "Sources say Meghan is sending a coded message." It's not obsession anymore, it's addiction with a side dish of delusion. Salty Isle loves to insist they want Meghan forgotten, erased, minimised. But the data shows the opposite. They can't stop talking about her, can't stop writing about her, can't stop monetising her. They treat Meghan Sussex like a national treasure even while pretending to hate her. If she had stayed in the UK, they would have smothered her. She left, and somehow they smother her even more. It's almost poetic. It's as if the universe said, "Let's see how ridiculous this can get," and the tabloids said, "Challenge accepted." Meanwhile, Meghan Sussex is thriving, glowing, minding her peaceful life, living her truth. While the British press continues choking on their bitterness because they can't understand how a woman they tried so hard to break still trends harder than all their favourites combined. Meghan hasn't stepped foot in the UK in ages, yet the UK speaks of her every minute, as if she's still living in Kensington Palace. She left, she moved on, she upgraded her life, she chose peace, and still she dominates British front pages like she never left. At this point, someone needs to check the national water supply, because how can one woman living thousands of miles away trigger an entire island daily? It's giving obsession. It's giving desperation. It's giving, "Please notice us, Meghan." It's giving, "We don't know how to function without her." And honestly, Meghan deserves none of this noise. But she continues rising above it while the tabloids continue spiralling. The contrast is delicious. The tabloids cling to her for survival. Meghan Sussex simply lives her best life. The more peaceful she is, the more chaotic they become. The more she moves on, the more they cling. It's embarrassing at this point. Salty Isle needs to let go, but it can't, and it won't. Because Meghan Sussex is the biggest story they've ever had, and will ever have. The woman they claim not to want is the only woman they can't stop obsessing over. Meghan Sussex left Salty Isle, but Salty Isle refuses to leave her. Thank you for watching, and remember to like, share and subscribe.